Hi everybody, Rich Casciato here, recently retired from Taylor Guitars, but I'm here at More Guitars in Evansville, Indiana, because they've asked me to come down to talk to you about a brand new release guitar from Taylor, and I'm holding one of them in my hands and the other one is right here, and this is the new Builder's Edition 514ce. Now this guitar is going to be available in 3 different versions. There's going to be 2 514s. The one I'm holding here is a Kona Burst. The other one is going to be a natural top. But then there's this guy here, which is going to be a Mahogany top. So those are the only 2 differences in these 2 guitars. So as I begin to tell you a little bit about this one, a lot of it's going to transfer over to here. So first of all, what is the Builder's Edition? What makes that so different? And this came out a few years ago as a part of Andy Power's wanting to have very special guitars. It started with our Koa. See, I still use the word R, and I'm retired, but that's okay. Of taking very specific specifications on a guitars that maybe he would want on his personal guitar. And it started with a K14 and a K24. And this was probably 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago. And it's blossomed now into lots of different models. But this was an effort to show craftsmanship, comfort enhancement features, special aesthetics, and actually some special tone, and using the chassis, V-class bracing as its chassis. So what makes the 514 Builder's Edition now going to be kind of special and unique? Well, what's really great about this guitar is that the tone wood that they've chosen is an urban ash. Some people know that as chamel ash. And it's sourced right here in North America. So this could have been a tree that lined a boulevard somewhere in California or wrapped around a courthouse somewhere. And what we have found out by working with the folks that get this wood is that this wood becomes really, really it's just a great tone wood is the best way to describe it. You know, if you go back in time when Gibson was building guitars in Kalamazoo and all these things, and they were using this wood, you know, they didn't want to ship wood in from all these kind of places. They were using locally sourced woods in many cases. And that's where the chamel ash really kind of comes into play. Not only is it gorgeous to look at, but we can work with it. You know, you can't just take any wood in any tree and be able to bend it and make it respond to vibrations of strings. You know, there are certain characteristics that the wood has to have. All right, chamel ash happens to work very well, or what we call it urban ash. So you know, we have this responsibly sourced wood. In this particular guitar, what we have is we have inlays that Taylor is calling their compass inlays, and it's in an Italian acrylic. We're using the tuners. These are the Godot tuners. There's a fire stripe pickguard that we've put on this model. If you remember, like in some of the other Builder's Editions, there are no pickguards, but we've heard from some people that they'd like to have a pickguard. And what's really interesting with this model is it's a gloss finish. Most of the other Builder's Editions have what was called a silent satin finish, but now what we're looking at is a gloss finish. ES2 electronics for a very, very beautiful sounding guitar. You know, what I love about ES2 is that when I strum a guitar, that's the sound that comes out of the amplifier. It is very transparent to the guitar itself. And sometimes that's a little bit harder to work with. You have to adjust for that. You know, you're not used to it sounding like that. So that's what this guitar has. So let's just kind of listen to this a little bit. I'm going to play a couple of different little things for you. I am going to tell you that I'm going to use a couple of different picks. And the first pick I'm going to use is one of my favorites, which is the Taylor Ruby Swirl Dark Tone. And this is in a 1.5 thickness. The guitar has tremendous sustain, and also you can articulate each note. All right, so I'm going to try to play the same thing now, but I'm going to use a thinner pick. Maybe what you want to do is you need the guitar to be a little bit more present. Okay, so I'm going to switch out here, and I'm going to go to a celluloid. I'm using a Taylor celluloid pick here that is a .96. So what you can kind of tell is that the guitar can respond very well with different picks, different styles, different attacks, way that you attack the guitar. You know, you could even just use in finger style. It still responds very well and has a really warm or clear, transparent tone, again, depending on how you hit it. So this is the new Builder's Edition 500 series, 514, and this is with the Spruce top. I think that we ought to let you hear how the Mahogany top sounds. So I'm going to switch here. And again, like I said, all of the specifications of these two guitars are the same. The only difference is the top now being mahogany. So again, my trusty Ruby Swirl 1.5 with a mahogany top. Okay, so what did the mahogany top do? It really warmed it up a little bit. It kind of compressed that tone. If you were recording, you might not have had as many peaks because the mahogany tends to hold that together. So we're really pleased to be able to present to you the Builder's Edition 514s and the 524 Builder's Edition. So again, my name is Rich, retired from Taylor Guitars, but I'm here at Moore Guitars in Evansville, Indiana, to help present you these guitars. If you have any questions about these guitars, please call Rob or Corey at the phone number that's going to be shown below, because I don't know it by heart. Thank you.